Okay, guys, what is up today? 40 days, 40 tips. It's that time. So here we go. Guys, hello, everyone. Rob Trigg here with Jet Lending, and welcome back. 40 days and 40 tips. Today, we're talking about something every real estate investor should and must understand. Insurance requirements for most hard money lenders. This isn't just about protecting your investment, but also about making sure your deal goes through without any necessary delays. Guys, in the literal time that I have worked here, everybody waits to the last minute to get insurance. Don't know why. Wish I did, but they do. They wait to the last minute to get insurance. And that's one of the things that you should get because it has to be approved and it has to be a certain policy. It's not just going to say, hey, give me this. It's got to be approved and it's got to fit what your lender or what Jet Lending's requirements are. So today we're making a video of it. We're going to let you know how to get it approved, how quick, what is required, especially closing with Jet Lending. So, hazard insurance quote and why it's critical. The first thing to know is that hazard insurance is mandatory for any hard money loan with us. It's essential to provide your lender with a hazard insurance quote at least 4 days before closing. If you don't, this could delay the entire closing process. So the earlier you get this and get it over with, the better. Approval process. The quote needs to be reviewed and approved by your lender, being Jet Lending, before it is bound to the property. That means they'll ensure the coverage meets our or their requirements before you finalize the policy. Guys, most people will go and pay for the insurance and you've got a policy that you have paid for and you hadn't even closed yet. So that's why it's extremely important to let it be paid on the HUD, meaning at closing, your funds or the funds that are there available are paid through the title agent. That way you know that it is being taken care of. One major difference between traditional home insurance and insurance for hard money loans is how the payment is handled. With a hard money loan, hazard insurance must be paid at closing, and it will be included in your HUD/settlement statement. The title company will send the payment directly to the insurer once funds are disbursed. This ensures that both you and the lender are covered from day one. Okay? Insured details are corrected. Make sure that your insurance binder and invoice ready to review. Confirm invoices and include the correct payment address to avoid any delays or confusion at closing. And there's oftentimes that I will get people that don't have the right address on their policy or they didn't check it themselves. Guys, this is crucial stuff that you must check and review yourself. Key insurance policy requirements. This is for us, and from what I understand, most hard money lenders require this. Now, let's dive into it. To the specific insurance policy requirements for investment properties. This is not the same as homeowners insurance. Big misconception there. It's important to relay that your insurance broker or your insurance provider that there are key elements to your policy that you should have when closing a hard money loan. One, must have liability coverage. We require a $300,000 minimum. A dwelling policy with vacancy clause, or i.e. builder's risk policy, especially if you're renovating the property. Flood insurance. Guys, we know here in Houston that everything likes to get wet, and everything likes to flood. Not everything, but I'm being a little funny about this. At the end of the day, if the property is in a flood zone or has flooded before or is in a storm surge, this is huge. Most people are like, oh, it's not in a flood zone. But if it's in a storm surge, it has a high probability to one day possibly flood. And you gotta have that flood insurance. Okay. I often get this question, Rob, my insurer only wants to do a 6-month policy. We must have a 12-month policy that's paid in full at closing. Okay. So if it's a 6-month, you got to let your insurer know, I need a 12-month policy. If the property has a pool, make sure your liability coverage includes that as well. If you're rehabbing the property, I've gotten this. Oh, well, I'm going to, there's no water in the pool. But eventually there will be water in the pool. Eventually there will be liability coverage for that pool. Or the pool's unusable. Guys, you got to understand, kid jumps over the fence, says, ooh, cool, a pool, and jumps in. And then something happens to him. I'm not saying he drowns or whatever, something happens, he goes home. And they say he gets a rash or something because the pool wasn't, up to standard as far as the chemicals, or, it had algae, whatever the situation is. And he goes home and the parents look at him and have to take him to the doctor. And now it's your fault because that kid jumped into the pool and you weren't there to kick him out. So at the end of the day, make sure you got that covered. Okay. Vacancy clause coverage. Why is it important? Even if your property has tenants, your insurance policy needs to have a vacancy clause to ensure you're protected during any period when the property might be unoccupied, whether that's because the tenant is turning over or during the renovation. Got to have a vacancy clause in there. Okay. Premium reimbursement consideration. Think beyond the cheapest policy, guys. All right. Think beyond that. Okay. When you're shopping for insurance, don't just go with the lowest premium. You want to ensure that you're covered. All right. Sometimes the cheapest is not always the best. I've often said this. You get what you pay for. All right. But you also need to ask yourself and your insurance broker whether any unused premium will be reimbursed if you sell or refinance the property before the policy terms are over. You need to make sure you understand that, okay? Because you could get money back, all right? This could save you money down the line, and it's something many investors overlook. So always ask, is this a reimbursable policy? Some of them will reimburse up to 75% of what is used, okay? Pro tips for investors. Plan ahead. The key to a smooth closing is preparation. Start shopping for insurance as soon as possible to make sure your agent understands the unique needs for an investment property. This will help you avoid delays and ensure your coverage is sufficient. Work with experienced brokers. Guys, we've got people that we recommend all the time. So ensure you're working with people that know how to write policies for investors. If you're new to investment properties, it is important to work with insurance agents who understand the nuances of these types of policies. This will make your process smoother and ensure you're fully protected. So let's recap. Why is insurance important? Securing the right insurance for a hard money loan involves getting your hazard insurance quote early, making sure that is important and is being approved. Guys, at the end of the day, it is probably an Achilles heel for any lender to ensure that insurance gets over here in a timely manner. it seems like everybody's afraid of the insurance guy because they're going to have to pay that policy or whatever have you. You got to have insurance on any property, any type of real estate to protect yourself from anything that could happen, whether it be weather, whether it be kids jumping over the fence, or whether it be one of your workers suing you for an injury. Liability insurance is very important, and so is hazard insurance to cover the property. Guys, that's all the time I have for today. I hope y'all got something out of this. For more tips to learn about hard money loans, contact me, Rob Trigg at Jet Lending at 903-806-4400. Let's make sure you have the right coverage in place by sending your deals here and getting them closed fast. Thank you, guys. We will see y'all soon out here.